I'm just setting the camera up, so I apologize for all the wiggling going on here. Hope everyone is doing awesome. And let's see if I can get you all up on my iPad. I believe I can. Yes, there we go. Well, hello, Kelly. How are you? We've got lots of stuff going on. We are going to revisit the Sherlock Holmes journal that I have been working on. Hello, Amy. Hello, Cordelia. I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. We are actually, believe it or not, starting to warm up. Oh, Cordelia, you're too sweet. Too sweet. I know. I missed you guys as well. Um, but, you know, as we say, this too shall pass, and it did. So, just took a little bit longer than expected. Okay. Let me, real quick, text. Now we should be good to go. I forgot to feed the cat. So, it's the beauty of you know, phones. I can text my husband. Hey, text the cat. Or feed the cat. All right, I'm just going to wait a couple minutes. And what we're going to work on today, actually, is we are going to be doing clusters in a way. Just different types of clusters. And they're going to actually become the pockets, the tucks, the belly bands, all of the items that we add into our journal. So we are going to revisit that. Oh, Cordelia, great. I hope you've been enjoying that up on Paper Rose, the scrapbook album that I did. I've got my coffee here. Gotta have my coffee. I had a good time making that journal. It kind of helps to, making scrapbook albums kind of helps me to slow down because you've got to think about it. Not that you don't have to think about other things, but you kind of got to know your measurements, how much are you flipping in there, and all of that fun stuff. So it kind of just slows you down, makes you think about your placement and what you're going to cut for what and all of that fun stuff. So, and that's something in the community. Remember last week I had talked about a community that I'm currently building. It's got two versions, real quick. It's got the free, and I'm putting something together right now for the free, just focusing on techniques and how far you can push. And then in the paid, that's where you'll get full-length tutorials, real time and stuff, and that's something that will break down within that community. But let's get started because I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's have some fun. So, earlier on my channel, I released a video showing how I constructed this journal using hanging file folders. Um, and actually, we're going to create the album to be looking to actually resemble a file folder. I don't know if that makes sense. What I'm really liking about this cover, I mean, it's very flimsy, very, very flimsy. I like that. It's really, not that journals aren't, but this is really comfortable in the hand. I'm loving the way that this is curving because I took the curve. This is a wider hanging folder. You actually set in this hanging folder a piece of chipboard to make it flat, so it's like 2 inches wide at the base, so you can really stuff it when you put it into your file cabinet. So this, though, is just creating this natural curve going on this side, using the folds within the journal as well. This is going to get turned into a pocket, and this one's going to get turned into a pocket. So I just really like the feel of this. We fixed that because, yes, this will tear. Who knew? And I showed you how we fixed that boo-boo. And then this piece here created the same type of folds into that piece. And then this is actually going to get, once we get to the cover, this is going to get attached back here, and when it comes around, we're going to have a circle here held on with a brad and a circle here, and it's going to intertwine. So it's actually going to look like a file folder, which I think is really cool. Cool, cool, cool. And then that's how it's going to close. So kind of really liking that. I didn't know if it was going to work. I never, when it comes to journals, I don't think. It just, we just go through that. But just kind of work with it because, you're not worried about your measurements. You're not worried about this, that, and everything else. So this one's going to be a lot of fun. And remember, I am using a digital collection from Relatively Thoughtful. It's a company out in the UK. They've got some great digitals there. And again, digitals are great for everything, guys. They're not just for journals. You can use them for cards. You can use them for art journals. You can use them for a layout. Anything that you want. It's paper. So we can turn it into anything that we want it to be. For this one, I just saw a journal. So I have all of the ephemera and the papers shrunk down. There's 3 different sets, or you can get the entire bundle. And we have a lot of these cards of the people, and that's what's going to be the focal points when it comes to our pockets that we're going to create. So the pockets aren't going to be smooth. They're going to be clusters. So very different, but we are going to have a base, which is going to allow me to dig into my stash and my scraps so that we can just continue to use that up. It's a lot of solid cardstock, which, let me grab those. Okay, so I have those. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Always remember, and I'll always say, I'm putting up my side table. Hang on. Loud click. There we go. All the different techniques that I'm showing you, different ways to put things together, you can definitely, definitely use what's in your stash to create your clusters. I tend to go vintage when it comes to mine. But it doesn't mean that you can't go bright and vibrant and all of that fun, um, all of the fun colors that maybe you have. We all have different choices for pattern paper and what draws us to that pattern paper. We could have a different, multiple things that we enjoy, but they're usually kind of intertwined with each other. I'm also going to be using some of my scrapped digital downloads just for the backers, but the principal pieces are going to be these beautiful images. I just love these images. There's just something about them that I thought were just really, really cool. All right, so let me stop gabbing because you guys know I could gab away for an extremely long time. And usually when I do clusters or anything like that, I take my pieces and I group them together. So these are all the journal cards, basically the same size. These are some sentiments. Here are some more little tiny cards that can be added. These are miscellaneous ephemera that I've cut from the kit itself. And then these are the backgrounds. So ripping, tearing, all of that fun stuff will more than likely happen. And I don't know if it'll be, I doubt it'll be in this one, but in another video when we finish up the album, this will be a 3-part series, we are also going to create a map, a folded up map. And we're going to tuck that into the journal as well. She does, Cordelia. Yes, relatively thoughtful. Does also have freebies on the website, which is just great. They always add to the collections. So after we go live and I get everything set up, I'll put the link down there if you wanted to check them out. But let's just dive right in. So what I want to do is for these pieces here, these cards, for some of them, the main ones, I'm going to frame them. I want to have a frame that sits on them and the cluster is going to come out from around it. And you'll see what I mean. This is going to be my base. I do want to have something to base the cluster on. Or I might pull one of these in because they're the perfect size. But then I'm going to use, these are just some of my scraps. I'm going to use black to accent these out. And that's what these are going to be framed on. So if I take just a couple of these, and sorry you're hearing those scratches. I do not measure them. I just place them down. And I know I'm using black cardstock, which makes it difficult to see. And then I just take my long shears and eyeball the frame around it. Just like that. I don't, to me, measuring just takes time. And we want all the time that we have to craft, right? Right. I'm not worried about if the lines are straight. But I do find, not everybody, that with a long pair of shears, I can cut a better straight line because I do it in one cutting pass. If you do it with shorter ones, you've got to keep, doing one of these, and sometimes that can get a little off. Let's see, will this fit? That will fit perfectly in there. No, I'm not putting any vintage photo on these because I want these to be the star of the cluster. So I'm just going to set a bunch of these up, and let's see how far we get. By matting these and having the base for the pocket or the tuck, that's going to make these edges that are going to hang over, these jagged edges coming off the top, just a little stronger. And I do want to take one of these awesome book covers that are also part of this. And do those as well. Hello, Betty. How are you? Yes, I've got my coffee as well. Yes. All right, so these are the ones that we will work on. If we still have time, we will just continue to work on some. Now, with the journal that I have, I always want to keep in mind I've got 3 signatures going on in there. Now, when I do, though, create a journal, I like to have a lot of writing space, but a lot of also areas to tuck. Doubt that even made any sense, but you'll see as we go through this what I mean with that. The only other thing that I want to make sure that I measure, because these are going to go like on this page, it's going to go on one of these pages. It could also go onto one of these. It's not going to go on the digital download pages. So I want to make sure that I know the size of what I'm looking at. So this here, I think it's 5.5. Yeah, so we go to 5 or even 4.5 for this. I do like to go down an inch so that it's not going to get too caught as it folds. And then these here, I think these are 6. Yep, so that's going to go down to 5. So either 5 or 4.5 for the pocket width or the base is how wide I would go. But again, these are going to be clusters. So this page here measures 4.25. I am going to bring my cutter in for this one. And I'm going to take it down to 3.5 by 3.5. Sorry, I know I'm shaking my camera there. That's 2. Three. these out of the way. I think that's the only time we'll use the cutter. And now I'm going to take these and just cut them on the diagonal. Now this one's going to go a little weird, and that's okay, because again, it's going to be covered. This is what's going to be our base. This can go this way, it can go this way, it can go this way, and it can go this way on our page. This is going to be considered like a tuck because we've got two sides that are going to be glued down. Top is not, but the cluster is going to run this way. A pocket has three sides glued onto it. So let's say this is a pocket. I would put glue here, here, and along here. And now that's a pocket. At least that's my terminology, if that helps. I want all of these to have that look of a tuck. And they work the same way. They'll hold your papers, your tags, and everything else just the same way. So there's no difference. I'm going to keep an eye on this corner here because that's what's going to go down onto the page. So this here is going to sit up there like that. I'll just create a quick what do you call it? Collage. These are just some of my scraps left over of ephemera that I have. So I'm going to mix and match. If you have ticket stamps, they would work. So again, I'm okay if I go over a little bit because I know that's going to go out onto my page. So while this sits here, this could sit here. So then you're going to get all these different things sticking out, which is something that I enjoy on my journals. Got the hat. We've got these awesome strips from the kit. Put one there. I'm going to add a splash of color. Now, while I didn't use vintage photo for the main image, it's going to go there. I am going to use vintage photo on these pieces because I'm losing that. That's not being seen. Kind of losing that. That's not too easily seen. So I want to make sure that these items that we're adding in are there. So we're going to have these little mini explosions coming out of our piece. And I like how that one looks. And I won't go below that line. All right, so let's get this one together. And you know I will change that. Let's add a little bit of vintage photo here, just to add that color. And in case that's peeking out. And we'll do the rest of the piece as well. This is open. Now, once I get the journal, I always get the journal together. I always get the journal sewn together first. Then I start working on the ephemera or the pieces. The pieces that are going to sit throughout. I just keep making ephemera. The only thing that I'll do when it comes to the ephemera is say, okay, 3 journals, I'm looking for this number of pieces. So if I make a belly band, I'm going to make 3 belly bands. That's where I kind of have a little bit of an OCD going on here, but that's what I'll do. So 3 belly bands would be made. If I have pockets, I'll make the same number of pockets. So it could be 21 pockets or tucks that will come across, because then 7 will go into each of those signatures. And then there will be another flip. So the flips will then go on the 2 outside journals, maybe not the center. Something different will be in the center. So that's the only thing that I'm thinking about when it comes to the journal and the ephemera that I make. If I have extra ephemera, I am not worried about that, only because then I put it in a bin that I have, and I just keep filling that up, and I'll put them in another journal and just have fun with it. I'm going to line that up right along the bottom. When I place my glue, I know that that's going to hang out. So I'll just put my glue down there. And because I don't want to constantly have to clean my surface, I'm going to get just a silicone mat here. And then I can just wipe that off easily. And now I want to get this in place. When I do these types of collages, I will use liquid glue as well. For this one, I'm going to put glue on the front. That's going to go there. And now you can see that hat just a little bit more. I'll tuck that in. And now I know this is going across there. And then we've got that. I'll then come in with glue there. Just tack that down, push that down, and then I can wipe away any excess glue. This glue will not be tacky once it dries. So that is now what the cluster looks like for our pocket. Simple as that. So if we bring in our journal so that you can see what we're looking at, I'm just going to pick a page. I'll pick this one. So this would actually sit right here. I like to have a little bit of a border around it. You can see that's peeking out a little bit. And now we've got that piece right there. So it's going to be a kind of a different way for these pockets to be put together, so to speak. And I will only put glue here and here on the base that we have. So that if we do that, and let's do that now. And again, it's just a thin line. You don't need too much. I push my pages down. Just a little bit of a border. The glue that I use is a PVA. I think this one's my PVA. Yes. I love my PVA glue. Bookbinding. Big bottle, refill. So now that's in there. And we have a pocket. And by putting all of our other items in here, it just looks like it's expanding. So yeah, somebody could pull on this, pull on that, but it just gives that illusion. The mystery. Yeah. Sometimes I really, overthink that. And when we close it, you can see pieces are going to stick out to also pull in the concept of file folder. Pages in a file folder are never neat, never put together. There's all over the place. So that's what this is going to create as well. At least that's my thought process. Let's see if it works. Right? All right. Let's keep going. So this one, I'm going. Now, I'll make note that I have one on this side. And as I flip through my pages, it's like, okay, I have something on this side. And as I move through to put the next thing, now it's got to be on this side. And as I flip through, now, okay, now it's got to be on this side. So, yeah, I do pull in some of, okay, this has to be a little organized here. But it's really not, because I'm just having fun creating what we've got going on here. Now, for the back side, too, because I don't print, when it comes to the ephemera, I don't print it double-sided. So you can see here you've got some white. That's fine, but if that bothers you, just take the ink that's left over on your distress tool and just cover it up. You can just do that. Or you can take a brush and just go back and forth to dull down that white. But there are white pages in here, so we're fine with that. So here, you've got that. And I love these little pieces that we've got here. And again, since it's this vintage vibe that I usually pull in, the only way that something would be very stand out, very vibrant, very much, okay, what is that? Is if you put like a rainbow in here, or anything like that. But I will say, if those are the scraps that you have, when you use your vintage photo, it dulls it down. So you can use them. Don't think you can't. Now, if you're not a fan of vintage photo, I get it. Some people are not. You can use another color. You can use black soot. You can use a gray. You can use a dye ink. It doesn't have to be um, the vintage photo. So always, always keep that in mind. You can use whatever it is that you would want to use when it comes to your ideas. This here, I really do like this, so we can take some of the background papers and make our own ephemera pieces from those as well, and just tuck them in to give a different look. We can also take another one of the journal cards too if we really want to build this up, and have that come in like that. And that's what we're going to do there. Let's get this one together, if I remember it. So I hope everyone has been well. Keeping busy in the crafty spaces. I'm still, just a little bit in and out, but definitely getting back into the swing. I am in the process of designing some exclusive content for the community that I have, and again, I'll link that down below. We're going to start out with a free one, and I think it's going to be on watercolors, just having a play. For some reason, I've really been with watercolors, loving my watercolors, and you'll see that because there's going to be a video coming out here on the YouTube, and you're going to see how we made this. Had a lot of fun. Wait till you see how I got that. That is not a stamp. It was awesome. There was a boo-boo, but, we overcame it. So, yeah. So, lots of mixed media, having fun with the watercolors, having fun with everything that we've got in our stash, and let's start using it. Let's start having fun. Okay, let's get this one down. And I want to get this piece in. Because I want this one. And I'm going to put glue on that. I really want to get this one in place. There we go. I think I'm going to move that piece here. I think I'm going to move that over here. I am never afraid of pulling up my papers when I'm looking for a certain look. It's just paper. It's fine. That. And then we'll put that there. So we just changed the look of it. Again, I'm fine if they're grungy looking. Now, what you can also do when it comes to your clusters is you can put something, if you have your glue hanging over, so like for this one, I can put a piece of glue down, because remember, we're not going to see this side. That's not going to stick out of our page. This side is. And then for this one, again, you can just use your scraps. It's not going to hold anything up, have any issues. So I can just cut a square here. It's like using your scraps for dimension. You can do that here as well. Now, for these, you can have some fun. All I have to do is just put that one piece there. But first, I do want to go around that edge. If you don't like the look of just adding ink, by lining this up on that piece, you'll get that double effect. And then just adding more ink to that. And there you go. And again, if we pull this in and put this here, if I close it, that's what you're going to see now. So you can do that for all of the second sides. But again, to have these pieces coming out, it's going to give it that illusion. Now we've done one to the right, one to the left. Now we're going to do two to the top, left and right. Because again, we don't want everything down on the bottom, pushing out, just to make it even. Oh no, Cordelia, you had no heat. Oh my goodness. I would have been a wreck. I would have been, you know, constantly running water and all of that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. But everything's better. I know the payments. I know. I know the payments are horrible. But it's better than freezing. Yes. All right, let's work on our next one, and we're going to keep this one up like this. I'm even going to take a pencil and put an arrow up so that I don't forget. Because now I will forget. Same thing with that one. And this one will be great because that's going to hang down. And I think that's... put her in there. I think that is a great seam to come off of that. I absolutely love these little pieces here. And again, remember, the majority of the pieces that I'm using are from the digital collection. I'm just throwing in some of my extras, my scraps, to build up and to bulk. I think I'm going to pull these in. We are about to get our, well, at some point, we are going to be getting, we have to get our roof done. When we were getting quotes, we found out, now I don't have a fireplace, but you know, we always have, you know, all houses have a, you know, a chimney type thing. Yeah, there's a nice little hole in it, so that's fun. Um, Fortunately, they're telling us we have no further damage. So they've got to repair that first. Then it's the roof. And at the same time, we're going to get our, we have just this one little section over our door. We're going to get that vinyled. The front of my house is stone. And then the 3 other sides are stuccoed. I like that. Let's see. So you had one that would still, okay, all right, right. No, Cordelia, I would not recommend sponge baths at all. No, no, no. Oh, that is such a shame. So sorry about those pipes. I would have been following them and constantly shutting the door and saying, you know what? Learn this. Yes, 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 Cordelia. The joys of owning a home. Yes. I am so sorry, though, that you went through that. Now, I am just taking a picture of this because I really do like that layout. I'll set that off to the side so that I can see it. All right. When we got, um, so when that last, I think it was a storm last weekend, yes, um, came through and we were getting, you know, I knew we were going to get something, um, wind-wise, because it was just too calm during the day. And when that line, I guess they refer it to as the front line, came through where I sit, you know, because we all have our own, you know, seats where we sit in the house. That's where the winds were hitting. When this line came through, it made me walk briskly to the other side of the house. That's how strong those winds came in. It was just, it sounded just like a train. It was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And we had lost power, which, yeah, absolutely. All right, so we're going to put that there. And I'm going to put just glue right here because I want this to sit right there. But yeah, it made me move. It just, whew. It was wow. Just wow. And I actually want to pull that down. But yeah, we did lose power, so we were very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. Our power was back up in like 8 hours. So I was very grateful for that. Yeah, it was. I don't like wind. Um, anyway, I'm not a wind person. Especially, you know, the high, and these were high winds that just came in. All right. So you can see your clusters you can build in many ways. You know, they don't have to be what you would normally see. And you can just have fun putting them together. And now what I'll do, since I have all my other pieces down, I'm just going to tack where I need to tack. And again, we don't have to worry about these. It's just these. If you want to put something on top of them, you can. So like I could look at this. Just put a little bit of ink around it. And say, okay, I can put that there. But first, I'll put ink around these edges just to hide that white. And then I can put that in place. So you're almost creating, you know, these two layers. And then this one here, you can do the same thing. You know, even though you're putting something that could be hidden, or you can use just your pattern papers. And it doesn't have to be much because it's not hanging over much. So now I know that's covered. And then when I come to the other side, I can also just trim this right off. And pull that away. And now we have one where your papers will go in this way. So lots of fun. Just a different way to make your clusters, put them together. Tornadoes? Oh my, okay. You know, I'm looking for the place to live that weather is not extreme. Just not extreme. Yes, I'm good with a thunderstorm. I'm good with snow. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I'm good with cold. But, you know, just calm. You know, normal. I don't think it exists. But if it does, let me know in the comments. Please. Alright, so now we have this one. And I think I'm actually going to do this one. I love the book covers as well. And we could put this one straight up and down. You don't have to have anything coming off of it either. You could simply, I love these textures. These textures of these pieces are just absolutely terrific. So you could actually just take this, and again, I always like my pockets to have strength. Always want them. So I'm going to double layer this. And I will line this up. Should have done that from the beginning. And then I'm going to trim this away if I can find my scissors. So we can get that completely straight. That's okay. We're going to turn this over. Going to pull that in. So there's our background there. We're going to ink around this. I know that one's going that way. And we can simply just place this piece here. And I think I'm going to do one more thing. You guys know I love adding metal findings to my pieces. So I'm going to take this strip, just eyeballed it. It does not have to be straight. I do want to trim a little more off that so that it goes in here like that. Well, and actually I don't need that. So before I take this and put this on here, I am going to add 2 brads right in here. So do you have to have all of the layering and everything else for your collage? Absolutely not. You do not. You could just simply take this piece and glue it right up on there. And that's it. You don't have to add anything else. Um, and that decorates your pages by just using the backgrounds, and you can print them to a different size. Well, hello, Crafty Nook. How are you? Welcome. And I think I'm going to break. No, I'm not. You could add gems or enamel dots to your pieces. And now I'm just going to glue this piece right up in there. So I am going to take my finger and put my finger there. And I'm just going to come down on the angle. I'm using a little bit more glue than normal on that because of the metal brads. I want the glue to come around them so that it will go down onto the piece. And I am just making sure that the corners are in there. And there you go. You have one of your pockets there. So by adding your scraps and using sections of the digital, that's really all you need. You don't have to do all of the layers or everything else that I'm doing for them. Of course, we have to do the Sherlock Holmes handbook, and we've got that one. So let's do that one, because again, I'm thinking, okay, I've done one of the books, let's do another one of the books. And we can choose a different background. Oh no, you're a water heater issue the day before Christmas. Oh my goodness. The plumber found something else that we still haven't. Oh no. Oh no. Don't you love it when they find something and they don't know what it is? Alright, I'm going to take another one of my triangles here. I am going to keep those to the top. And I'm going to choose a different background for this one. And I think I'm going to choose this because that's kind of like, I think that'll look good, kind of like his hat. I'm sure that's called something else. I'm just going to put that on the inside so that I can trim that a little easier than what I did last time. Oh no. So, but yeah. I know it's out there, that location. Just, my husband just laughs at me. I make them crazy. Save that. And even something like this, that can be a pocket or a tuck. You can put glue here, and then it's a side, you know, it's a tuck. Or you can glue on these three sides. So even something like this, you've already have pre-made pockets. So these don't have to go to waste. Again, when you put pockets in your journals, you don't have to always have a decoration on them, have an image on them. You can just use the papers with that. I do as well, Crafty Nook. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. With wind. So again, you never have to. I always say I don't do anything easy. I will try to take it to that next level, that next spot, but that doesn't mean you have to. Always remember that. Always, always remember that. You can take the simplest of steps. And again, without these holes, just put that right there, and boom, you've got a great pocket or tuck. Absolutely. It looks great. I do like to have metal, a lot of metal in my journals. Charms and chains, and I love to make paper charms using the collection. So if you don't have metal charms, you can make your own um, using paper and just layering it up. Use up those scraps and just keep layering it till it's nice and thick. Create your own chipboard with those papers. Alright, now that one I'm going to turn just so that this can sit there. And if you're not comfortable with your placement, making sure with the glue, you can take this, take a pencil, put a line, and now you know where your glue goes. Again, lots of glue. Just because of those brads, I want the glue to surround it. I'm not going to go past that pencil line. And I'm going to set this right here. And I'm just going to press down around those brads and put that in place. There you go. Pocket. And you can trim this, like you could, if you don't like that point, take the points off. Absolutely. So now we've got 5 pockets done so far. One is actually glued into our book. Let's keep going. Oh, you don't like wind either, Crafty Nook? No. No. Mm-mm. And that one was just like a train. I had my sister laughing when I told her the story. I took off. And what was even funnier, the cat went with me. So we were both running down the house. And I don't have a big house. But we were just, whoom! So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, yep, yep. All right, so you can see how the pockets are going to go. Let's see, how long have we been here? I can't see. Oh, about an hour and 10 minutes. Okay. Oh, it was amazing. And you know, you make that sound, ooh, you know, and as you kept on going, yeah, mm-hmm, absolutely, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's just ah. Also in the kit, I'm remembering it, so now I'm laughing. Um, are there's tags, and there are lots of tags. I especially love these fingerprint tags. These fingerprint tags are absolutely adorable. But what I like when it comes to these tags, I like to layer them. And again, using our papers, and that's just resizing your digital print. So your digital prints, you could set it, you know, to fit the page. So the PDF, when I go to print, I always choose fit. And then if it's, you know, a larger size, it'll shrink it down to an 8.5 by 11. But what you can also do is you want to make sure you say fit, and then in your choices in the print dialog, it should say, you know, number of pages per page or something like that. It's another choice that comes across. And I'll say, since it's backgrounds, I'll say 2 by 2. So 4 backgrounds will fit on one page, and they come out to be this size. So it's almost like a 4 by. Okay, so this is like a 3 and 5/8 by 5 and an 1/8. So just it'll be smaller than a 4 by 6, but it's what it's close to. So you get these automatic backgrounds that you have, and we're going to turn those into a tag. Now I will bring my cutter out on this because this tag here is 1 and 3/4. So I want this tag to be 2 and 3/4. And I'll keep that. We can turn that into a washi type look. And then I took an old tag, actually, doesn't even have to be a card, and I just cut corner notches off of it. And I titled it Tag Template. Not sure why, but you know, just in case I forgot, you know, because that can happen. And I can use the different sizes for my tag. And all I have to do is just line it up, cut, and then I take this and I flip it and line it up on the other side. And then this way, you have an even top. Now, do you have to have one of these? Nope, you do not. If we take, I'll take this piece here. If you cut your angle, watch your fingers and hold on to that corner. All right, so there's the corner. Take it, flip it, and take it to your other side. Line it up. I'm going to grab my little scissors for this. And then just cut along that corner side. You get the same results. I created the template because, did you see how close the fingers were? This poor finger has taken a beating over the years. This poor little fingers. It's, mm-hmm, lots. Lots of beatings. So I wanted it to give it a break. I just needed to get a break. So that's why we did that. We are going to ink up our tags, and I'm going to ink on both sides. These are journaling spots. You know, it's area where people can put, your recipient can put a secret message. So you can layer these up. Now, this one here, I'm not sure. Well, you know, I kind of like that there. We can do a little bit of collaging here. Here's a fun book with a gun. Sorry, I said gun. Should not have said that. So with detective items. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. And then let's add just a regular piece of ephemera just to fill that in. And let's ink that up before I forget. So we're going to glue that down. We're going to set that there. I love these images. Love those images. And then I'm going to have this piece coming out there. I don't like too many things hanging over the side when it comes to the tags, because they're going to go in and out of the pockets or the tucks a lot. So I don't want that to have too much wear and tear on it. I'm going to get this tag glued down. And then we'll get this glued down. Just overhanging just a little bit. And then I've got to lift that back up because I need to get that tucked in there. And we'll have that coming out just a little bit. So just little tiny things. Now, what you can also do too is if you don't want them hanging out, you can trim them. And then they are the complete shape of your tag, but you still have the collage going on the piece. And then you just go back around and add your ink. If you want, you don't have to. Sometimes people come across and say, "You're always using vintage photo." Yes, yes I am. Absolutely I am. Now this, I just love the fingerprint. So we're going to put an eyelet in this one. And why is that? Okay. So wrong side. So we're going to put a hole in this one. And we're going to put a small eyelet in there. And again, me and eyelets, we just do not. We really don't. You really do not get along. I can never set them right. But I've been getting better. I have found the trick. Alright, I'm going to push that down again. Because I don't like how that looks. See what I mean? See. Okay. And then I use a slightly, sorry for that noise, I use a slightly different size of eyelets for the larger size. Put that there. And then we're going to change this again. I don't know. I think I need another one of these. I think it's just breaking. Ooh. There we go. And then we're just going to add, let's see. I know, I'd love, I gotta find some magnifying glass. Let's see, I'm just looking to make sure no one had a question. Oh, Amy, I missed you. I'm so sorry. Hello. I hope you're still here. You know, Cordelia, they do. And a lot of people say they're not supposed to. They're going to. They are going to split. It took me a long time to let that go. They will split. You just want to make sure that they do curl, you know, so that you don't have sharp edges. Like this one's got a little bit of a sharp edge because it didn't quite go down as much. However, what I do for that is, as you hear that fall, I have this hammer. So it's got a, you know, 2 rubber. And then what I will do is I will take one of my acrylic blocks, and I'm not going to do it on this table because the whole table would, you know, do that. But you're going to hear it, and I will take it on my table and I will hammer it. And now it's flat. So that's what I do, because I don't want anyone hurt. And this can be sharp. So now that I did that, it's fine. Yeah, this was very, but yeah, it's got like a good rubber, these are 2 rubber sides to the hammer. I don't want a metal one, because I think that would make me nuts. I do, no, Cordelia, it is not just you. No. And honestly, you really want to find eyelets that I'm just threading a ball and chain. You can get these little lengths. I get mine off of Amazon. And usually all the stuff that I use, I do get from Amazon. So you can, if you wanted to, you don't have to. You can check out my Amazon storefront, and I have like different segments. One of them's journaling. That's where I keep all of this stuff. So it shows where I get the ball and chains and all of that. And there's our tag. I think it's absolutely adorable with the fingerprint on there. Absolutely adorable. Now, these eyelets here, you want to look for what I have found. This is just my own personal. Let's talk eyelets. How about that? All right, here we go. You do want to find an eyelet, and I don't know if I'm going to be. This is what they originally look like. They're silver. And I put them in a sandwich bag, a freezer, quart-sized bag because it's thicker. And I put in alcohol inks in different shades of brown. And I mush it around because these do have, I don't know if you can see that. Can you? I know I can't see it. But see how it is like split along that top there? You want that. You want that to do that because you're more likely then to get this look where it's all around instead of when you don't have that. See how it only furred out on one side and it did something very strange on this side. So you want something like this. Now, these are honestly listed as 3/16, which of course is the one side of this. I think it's a little bit bigger because when I use this size hole, they're really tough to get through. This one from Rear Memories is just a little bit bigger of a hole. So I use this to punch the hole, then it just goes right in. I don't have to fight with it, tear my papers, or anything else like that. And then I can use the 3/16 setup for the eyelet setting. And these actually helped me get confidence with eyelets because I love the look of eyelets on a lot of my tags. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Um, so that's what I do. I just buy these. You can get them. I get them in the bulk, and then I keep some silver, and the other ones you can see here what the alcohol ink does and how I can change the colors to make them resemble bronze um, instead of the silver. Silver I'll use for holidays or maybe a birthday, but 9 out of 10 I'm not going for a color. I'm going for bronze pieces when it comes to my metal findings. But I do mix silver and bronze together. Um, so that's how I work with them. Now, if you've got eyelets that don't have those splits up on the top, and my mini ones, these 1/8, oh, bless their little hearts. Just saying, these do not have splits on the top. It only looks like it does, but they do not. What I do is I become a contortionist. And when the when I'll put it to the 1/8, and they're fine going into the 1/8 hole from this puncher. But what I'll do is I will make sure that this pin is going before I really press down. I turn this upside down and make sure this pin is lined up in that hole and it's set, and then I'll scrunch down. If this is not, if you look at that, it's not straight. This pin's going off this way and not going straight on to this head. That's going to cause a problem. That will not let your eyelet set correctly. And who knew? I'm just saying, who knew? Yeah, years, people, for me with eyelets. I'm just saying, it was years. Have a great day, Crafty Nook. Enjoy. Um, so those tips help me. That's what helps me. Because I also do love the small eyelets. I don't always want that large eyelet. I only want that on my tall or my larger size tags. For a tag like this, yeah, I would want a smaller one. This one I'd be okay with a larger size. So it all depends on, I guess my mood. Let's just say that. But this, no, I don't want a large eyelet for this. So a little 101 for eyelets on how I work with them and what works for me. What works for me. All right, so I love this look. You don't always have to have string coming off of them. You don't always have to have, you don't have to have the mini poofs because we call them poofs now, not the other word. That's not probably a good word. YouTube probably won't like that. Um, but little poofs, you don't have to do that. But you can use, a little piece of fabric, just fold it over, use a stapler. You don't have to have the eyelets. Metal is great with the staplers, the mini staplers, um, when it comes to that. So there's all kinds of different ways. If you don't like metal, just glue everything down. By all means, have some fun with it. But this is a way to add charms and just have fun, have your tags look a little bit different. So now we've got a tag done. You can also just take these background papers. This here could just be a journal card. Why do anything else with it? It's a good embellishment for your pieces as well. So you can have fun with adding those in. So, all right, so this is what we got done, which I think is pretty cool. Pretty cool. We got a tag done and a little bit of how I work with eyelets 101. Did a little bit of collaging. We can cut off those edges. When it comes to our collage, we can layer up our tags. We've got journaling here, and then we've got a secret journaling spot here if we want that. Here are two ways to make our tucks. Again, tucks are glue on two sides, not three. And just adding, I chose to add brads to it just to give it that little bit of something, something. When it comes to decorations, do you need that? Absolutely not. I mean, you could certainly just take this and just have it look like that. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. There's nothing wrong with just doing the little bit of matting, use up those scraps, and get these layers on. These are nice and sturdy because of the layers we're adding, so that everything that's getting pushed in and out, they're going to stand up to the test of time. And then we did our clusters. We did 3 of these. Now, these are tucks as well, just a different look of a tuck. All right, you can add to it. Now, if you wanted to, absolutely, you could cut right along that and just have fun with it. But I think by doing this and having these jot out from the side, it's going to continue that look of a file folder and what the look is that I'm achieving when it comes to this journal. So, different ways to do things. This is just one of thousands to do things. Could you just take one of your triangles or create a pocket and just continue to put these pieces on like that? Absolutely. Why not? You can have it come down like this. Whatever it is you would want to do, or just have your collage going along in the background, or have your pattern paper continuing along the background, you can certainly do that as well. And it's a beautiful look for your pocket. Again, your digital collection, by printing it out the way that you want to print it out and print it out in different sizes, can give you so many options. But what I can't stress enough is digital collections are not just for journals. And you're going to see that next month, where I'm going to be working with a beautiful Jane Austen collection and see how we incorporate that into a card and other items. It does not have to be that journal. And we're going to make an entire set, and that's going to be our simplicity. Yes, you do need access to a printer when it comes to digitals. But again, just because I'm using a digital doesn't mean you cannot do these same techniques with your paper pads. Let's bust into those paper pads. That's one of my goals this year. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good morning, LaFarce. How are we doing? 50 cents for 300 eyelets? Are you sure you didn't find them at a yard sale? I mean, just say. I'm just saying. I do remember that though, Cordelia. I'm just saying. You know, eyelets were for clothing. Just saying. So I hope you enjoyed just the few different ways of what you can do. I am doing just fine. I'm doing better. And how are you doing? I hope everything's good in your area. Um, so again, different ways. And I can't stress, a lot of times somebody comes out and says, I don't have the patience for that, or I don't have this, or I don't have that. Don't have to have patience. Do the section that intrigued you and make it your own. It's just a different way to manipulate and create with the paper. Can you stamp on top of these as well? Yeah, why not? I mean, why could you not take, instead of making them like this, take this piece here, do all kinds of stamping in the back? So you know that's going to happen now, right? I'm just saying. All right, so here's a stamp here. And I always go for my scripts. Must have a script. Now, what's funny, when I stamp with my script, I always use my archival. I'm going to use my black. It's either black or potting soil. I don't put it on a block because I want the grunge, but you can see it is sticking to my hands, which I think is awesome. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to stamp down. We're going to peel that off. And then, you know what? We're going to just pick up more. And then we're just going to stamp right there. Let me get that off my hands. Very sticky. Awesome stamp. Awesome, awesome stamp. So there we have our background. Doesn't have to be perfect. Why can't we just take that and put that right there? That's simple. Again, just look at what we're doing and make it your own. And most of all, always, guys, have fun with the process. Try new things. Try something different. It's okay to say, get it, don't like that, but what if I did this? That's okay. I take no offense to that. I just want you to have fun and see what you can do, what's available for everyone. All right? I am going to let you go. There's a couple things that I have to get done. One is the video. It's going to come out. What's today? Today's 23rd. So I believe Tuesday it's going to be out. Yes, the 25th. And again, this is what you're going to see. It's all mixed media. It's watercolors, it's distress oxides, it's embossing, it's distressing the side, it's die cutting. My die cutting machine is speaking to me again, so I'm able to use her. Yes. We have bonded again. She's a little scared because she knows what's going to happen soon. This is interesting how we got this, and you can see that side effect there. Again, just trying different ways on things that we have and stretching them out and creating that unique look. So you'll be seeing that this week. And you'll also see towards the weekend, I'm going to create some belly bands and some long flips and the map that we're going to make. You're going to see that video as well. And then after that one, we will be working on our cover and getting that all completed as well. And then the final flip through of the album, because we got to get ready for March. March is just around just around the corner. So, yes, thank you again. You all have my appreciation, my gratitude, my thanks um, for sticking with me through this time. Sundays will be my live. If I think I'm going to be going live at another time, I'll put that into the YouTube community. So always keep an eye out for that. Um, because that's going to be a special event. Stay tuned for April, end of March, April, the stamps. I have my new stamps coming out. I've been having people email me on that. Yes, they're coming out. Last week's live, I gave you a sneak peek on those. So I have those in my hands. And make sure you stay tuned for Sean Manley, um, his YouTube channel. And make sure you stay tuned with Biddy. I'm sure they're going to do wonderful things with those stamps. Their creations are just out of this world. So stay in tune for that. Still building up the community. I'm going to have something in there soon for the free, and it's going to focus on a technique. And that's what I want to do in the community, is to focus on techniques. But I want techniques available for everyone. So all of those are always going to sit in the free. And then again, there is the paid version where you'll get the full tutorials on albums, journals, these things that take forever and a day when it comes to that. But you have full tutorials too in the free. So I don't want you to think, oh, well, she's done just doing voiceovers over there. Nope. Recorded live, detailed steps. Um, because that's where I am absolutely most comfortable for everybody. I want you to know the steps. I get Gabby, yes. So we should chat. All right. So all of that is coming. Stay tuned. Again, it's free. Just go over. I'll put that link down below. Just have to sign up. Yes, you are giving an email, but please know I do have a newsletter. Um, I make announcements through my newsletters, nothing more. I am not every week. I'm not every month. I don't even think I'm every quarter. So just know you're not going to get bombarded by me. And if you do, it'll only be like once a quarter, and it'll talk about the technique of what you guys saw. So keep that in mind. But just know when you do provide that, it does go into a bank where you will be. And you can unsubscribe at any time. And no hard feelings. It's all good. All right, guys, I'm going to let you know. Go. And yes, it's Manly Made Minute, Sean's channel. Thank you, Cordelia. So make sure you check his channel out if you haven't already. You thought all I was nuts with creativity and trying to stretch something out as far as it can go. Yep, he goes one step further. And you're going to see some great projects coming out with him with other teams that he has just recently joined. So I couldn't be happier for him. Enjoy the process, guys. Always have fun. Remember, thank you so much. I am truly grateful. I will look forward to seeing you next Sunday. I don't see anything coming into play on that, so we should be good. I'll come up with something for us to do different from this. And until then, guys, continue to stay safe and healthy and always be creative in everything that you do every day. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.